you this morning about mostly like the college search process and what that could potentially look like for you. So just a quick overview of our short time together today. I'll start off by looking at exploring majors and careers, talking through some myths around choosing a major, and then move more into starting that college search and what questions you should be thinking of when talking with a college. I will try to save some time at the end as well to answer any questions that you may have as far as my knowledge can take you. So first things first, when you're looking at starting that college search, it's important to think through majors and careers and what kind of interests you so that when you're really looking at colleges, you can narrow it down to just those schools that have what you're looking for. So consider your strengths and weaknesses. What classes have you done well in and what interests you? You really want to think through all of your different options because there's a lot of different majors and programs out there, and different schools offer different programs. So just keep that in mind, and we're going to go through some myths as well because there's a lot of like preconceived notions about what majors and programs you should be looking into or career paths, all of that fun stuff. So the first myth is if you don't declare right away, you're wasting your time. When in reality, if you're not 100% sure, you should really give yourself that time to explore all of your options. Like I said, there's a lot of different things out there that might potentially interest you. Just from personal experience, when I was first starting to look at colleges, I was trying to decide between music education and chemistry, which are very different programs. I'm not sure if you know like all of the different classes you could potentially be taking, but it didn't work out for me to look at both programs at the same time. So I ended up starting in an undecided program, which a lot of schools have. If you're not 100% sure on a major, I definitely encourage you to start in an undecided program. At K-State, we have what we call open option, which is a really great opportunity for you to just explore different majors and programs without being restricted by any kind of curriculum. And that was ultimately the best option for me. I ended up being an advertising major, which is completely different and something I never would have been looked at if I hadn't started in undecided. So I feel like you're wasting your time. I was in open option my entire first year at K-State, and I ended up graduating on time, even a little bit early. So it works out if you give yourself that time to explore your options. The second myth is once you choose your major, you're locked in, and changing majors is a waste of time, when that is not the case at all. While it might not be the best idea to jump frequently between majors or change your mind at the very last second, you have time to make an educated decision on what major you want to stick with. So it's totally okay to change your mind. 80% of students in the US change their major at least once. And on average, students change their major 3 times. So again, don't feel like you have to go into college knowing exactly what you want to do with your life. Most people don't, even after they're in college and they change their mind, and that's totally okay. So the third myth, choosing a major is the same as choosing a career, when in reality, every major offers multiple different career options. So some people think backwards, looking at what career do I want to end up in after college, and then they look at the different majors that could potentially get them there, while other people's look at just one particular major and see what potential careers they can get out of that. So really it could go either way. It's really up to you and what you feel comfortable with, what you think is going to be the best for you. Like I said, I was an advertising major and now I'm working in admissions. And so it's not necessarily that your major is going to bring you directly into a career that you necessarily thought that you would be in, but I'm able to use the skills that I learned in my major and in my time at K-State and apply them to the job that I'm currently in admissions. And so that's the case with a lot of different majors and programs. That's the case with a lot of different careers. You can have different majors and be in different careers. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at possible major and career programs. So employability is the most practical way to choose a major. I actually know a couple of people that think this way, And it's an okay way to look at your time in college. However, I strongly suggest that you look at all of the things that really interest you so that you can find not only things that you're good at, but something that you love to do. Ultimately, the job market is always changing, so you never know what's going to be the best job in 10 years' time. So just find what you're passionate about and try to pursue something in that. That's the biggest piece of advice that I could give. Make your favorite subject your major. So this is a really interesting one because like I was saying earlier, you want to kind of look at those classes that interest you and try and pursue a career in something that's going to be your passion. However, like it says, just because you enjoy psychology doesn't necessarily mean you'll enjoy being a psychologist. So some of the biggest pieces of advice that I could give on this one, try to get that hands-on experience. So whether that's job shadowing, I know that was something that I really enjoyed to do as an undergraduate student, was go with industry professionals, see what their day-to-day is, and see kind of what that job looks like in reality. Internship opportunities are another really great way to get an inside scoop of what the job could potentially look like in the future so that you can see if you're in the right major for what you want to do. And that's stuff that you can even look at doing in high school as well, is going and seeing if you can shadow a professional in whatever you want to do. And then that way you can make sure you're setting yourself up to not only find success, but find something that you're passionate about. And then this last myth, that technical skills are more important than soft skills. I would say they're equally as important, but in the 21st century, technical skills will change. And you want to make sure that you develop those soft skills like communication and especially adaptability right now, that's so relevant with everything that's going on in the world. You need to figure out how to be adaptable in different situations and how to work with different groups of people. And that's something that you'll find not only in the classroom, but outside of the classroom as well in different opportunities and experiences. So I did just want to put this career assessment in here as well as a resource for you. Like I was saying, you don't have to have a 100% or certain idea of what you want to do when you're going into college. This career assessment is something that I did my freshman year in college. Again, I didn't really know what I wanted to pursue as a career, and so this helped me see what kind of jobs might interest me. It's like a personality type test. If you have ever done like a BuzzFeed quiz, it's kind of like that. And then it pops up with all of the possible careers that might interest you, as well as the majors that you could be in that would help you get into those careers. So just a resource there. And then I did want to talk about navigating the college search process. So there's 5,300 colleges and universities in the United States. There's a lot of different options to choose from. And so it's really important that you set yourself up even before you start looking at colleges with your list of things that you're looking for. So these first two boxes on the right-hand side of your screen, observe yourself and look for a cultural match in a college. What helped me was when I created a list of things that I was looking for in a college. So are you wanting to go to a private or a public university, small or large? What are you looking for, and what kind of atmosphere do you want out of that college experience? So it's not just all about finding that program, it's also about finding the perfect fit for you. And it's important to ask for help. So you have counselors and teachers, mentors who are there to help you all along the way, and they have the resources to help you start that college search and really get into it. And I think the biggest thing is that you need to feel comfortable asking for help because you're not alone in the college search process. Kind of going off of that, like I said, I'm an admissions representative with K-State. And with that, it's basically my entire job to help prospective students work through that college search process and help get any of the questions that they may have answered. And so if you do have questions and you want to get connected, most colleges and universities out there have a specific person who's entire job is to help you with the college search. All right, and then the next biggest thing is to visit campus. So after you develop that list of things that you want out of a college, start searching and making a list of colleges you want to visit. This is probably the biggest thing for me. I always encourage students to visit campuses so that you can not only meet with people in the admissions office, you meet with current students, you get to see what the campus is like and see what that campus culture is like as well. And here's just some tips when it comes to looking at visiting different campuses. You want to start planning early. I didn't start looking at colleges until my senior year of high school, and that was really hectic and kind of stressful for me. If that's what you're doing, that's totally okay. You still have time your senior year. I would say though, start looking your sophomore, junior year really to visit all of those different colleges that interest you so that you can see, because the minute you set foot on a campus, you're going to be able to tell what the community is like, what the atmosphere is like, and the kind of students that go there. The next kind of thing, establish a budget. So traveling to different colleges could be pricey. I know a lot of students like to visit multiple colleges at a time. So definitely look into potentially doing that so that you see how many colleges you can realistically go to within your time exploring all of the different options for you. And then there's, especially right now, a lot of colleges are doing virtual options for you. So whether that's just a virtual tour, I know K-State is doing virtual visits as well as event days. So that's a really exciting opportunity for you to get connected with the college and again, get those student perspectives and see what it's actually like on those campuses. The last thing I'm going to talk about is just that financial portion. You really want to ask about scholarships, what you could potentially qualify for when it comes to those scholarships. K-State has a cost breakdown for the entire cost of college, and I know a lot of different schools have that as well. So kind of ask to see what your potential cost of college could be overall, and see what scholarships could help you with that cost of college, because I know that's one of the biggest deciding factors for students. So some important questions to ask: what resources do you have? Will I feel at home? And again, visiting campus is going to help with that a lot to see if that's going to be your future home away from home and what opportunities exist for me. So I get a lot of students asking about tutoring, financial aid, counseling services, our rec, all of those sorts of things are resources on our campus that will be able to help students be successful, not only in the classroom, but outside of the classroom as well, which is really, really important, especially for students who aren't necessarily familiar with the whole college process. Opportunities, I always tell students to get involved as much as they can or as much as they're comfortable with on campus so that they can really find their community. Staying home away from home, but that's really what college should be for you, is that other community that you're going to have for a lifetime. So it's really important to see where can you get involved, how can you stay involved in something that you're participating in high school potentially and continue that into college. So really try and ask all of those important questions and maybe even come up with a list of questions that are important to you specifically. And again, ask your admissions representative, because they're going to be able to not only get those questions answered, but hook you up with the right resources on their campus as well. And hopefully, if you have a great experience on campus, you won't have to document it because you'll just remember how awesome of an experience you had. But it does help if you're visiting a lot of colleges to take notes, take pictures of the campus or of you at the campus, so that way you remember which campus is which, especially if you're visiting a college you're not necessarily familiar with. But again, this is something where you could reach out to those admissions representatives again and get more information from them about campus life. And at least at K-State, we have all of our admissions representatives went to K-State, so we can really talk about the experience there and also remind you of what your visit looks like. So some tips: You really want to know your deadlines. When it comes to admissions scholarships and the FAFSA, not all schools are going to be the same. Um, for some schools, you have to apply for scholarships separately from admissions. So that's another important question to ask. When I'm applying to this school, will I have to apply separately for those specific scholarships, or is it all wrapped up in one? And another thing is the FAFSA. That's really important with helping with cost of college. Again, I know that's one of the really big deciding factors for a lot of students. And so filling out that FAFSA, getting all of those questions answered while you're on a college campus, if you have any about financial aid and the FAFSA, that's going to be really beneficial in the long run to make sure you're on the right track, meeting those deadlines. And I can't stress enough, applying for scholarships. There's tons of private scholarships out there that you can apply for, and it's never too early to start applying. That way that you can stack all of those scholarships on top of the ones that you're getting from the university. Again, that'll help with the cost of college just a little bit. And if you have questions about scholarships, I know we have a website up through K-State that has a bunch of private scholarships listed. But again, reach out for help from your counselors, your teachers, people in your community, because a lot of times those community scholarships are going to help out a lot when it comes to cost of college. And then this last tip, take AP or college credit if you can. I know I came into K-State with roughly 22 credit hours, and so that was really helpful so that I wouldn't have to retake those general education courses or classes that didn't really interest me as much. It's helpful to start off on the right foot, a little bit ahead of the game on that if you can take AP or college credit. And if not, that's totally okay too, because you're not going to be set behind at all. You might just have to take a little more of those general education courses that everybody takes. All right, and I know that was really quick, me just talking, kind of rambling at you about finding a major, finding an institution with that major, and then finding your fit. So I wanted to just go over really quickly, make sure that you not only look for that major or program that interests you, you're also making sure that you find an atmosphere and a campus that you feel like can be your home, and can be a place that you see yourself at for the next 4 to 5 years. You want to find the best place that fits you. I know it might be appealing to look for a college that your friends are going to, but not everyone is going to want to go to the same college, and it's not going to be the best fit for everyone. So really think about what you need, what interests you, and where you want to end up. And I do want to leave time for questions. So I know that that was a lot of information. Again, I'm an admissions representative, so I work directly with students. And I'll be working with students in Southeast Kansas for this upcoming year. So I could potentially be talking with some of you later on in the year to get you ready for going to college. But that was all of the big information I had about exploring all of your options and finding your best fit. So I wasn't sure if there was any questions that anyone had. Okay, so we have a question about how many college credit hours can you have before you are considered a transfer student? Okay, so this is a really interesting question because when it comes to being considered a transfer student, that comes after you graduate high school. So you can take as many college credit hours as you want when you're still in high school. It's after you graduate. So once you graduate, if then you decide to take more college credit from, let's say, a community college or just a college in your area, and then you want to transfer into a different college, for K-State, it's 24 credit hours. So that's, again, after you graduate high school. But while you're a high school student, you can take as many college credit hours, dual credit, AP credit classes as you want. And through all colleges except AP and dual credit. Again, it kind of looks different depending on what college you're looking at. So for K-State, we have a whole it's a resource through our transfer page, but you can plug in exactly the AP test that you took, what score you got, and see what class it's going to count for, or if it's going to count at K-State. Most dual credit, it will be transferred over since you're taking it through another college. We would just need the transcript from that college. There's a question about extra scholarships for 4-Hers. I believe that there is a private scholarship for that. I'm not 100% sure how much that is. I haven't actually worked with those 4-H scholarships, but I'm sure that I could look into that and get back to you with more information. Okay, and kind of going off of the dual credits, so someone asked about a specific program, figuring out what college credits are needed. So a lot of universities are going to have, we have like a whole pathways tool that you can use where you plug in, I'm interested in occupational therapy, and I'm taking credits from this college, and it'll show you exactly what classes you should be taking so that it'll directly transfer over into your university. I know that's something we have at K-State. I'm not 100% about other universities, but that's definitely, again, reach out to your admissions representative and they'll be able to talk you through what resources they have to help you make sure you're not going to be set back at all when you're transferring. A lot of schools are really transfer friendly. It's just a matter of getting those transcripts from the university you're originally at sent over to your new university. Okay, is there a day of the week that is best or to avoid to visit the K-State campus in person once the campus is open again? Yeah, so the campus should be open this fall for students to take classes in person. That also is most likely when we're going to start opening the campus for visits as well. I would say Mondays and Fridays, we have a lot of event days going on, which look a little bit different than a visit. They're going to be more large scale, but that also means that we're not going to have visits those days. So if you're able to come during the week, there's going to be more of a chance for more personalized one-on-one experience for you. So that's all that I could say. Also, I know that like your spring break or winter break are probably the easiest times to come and visit campuses, but you have to keep in mind that if you do that, then there's not going to be as many students, college students, that are on campus, so it's not going to be the same kind of feel. Some high schools allow students to have a couple of days to visit colleges specifically, so maybe see if your high school does that, or if not, just see what your schedule permits you to do. So yeah, that's the best advice I could give. Is there certain majors that do not want credits transferred in from a community college? Okay, so this is a really interesting question as well, because yes, there are certain majors that want you to take specific classes from their program. I would say architecture is probably one of them, just because they have a very specific track that they want you to be on, because you work in like a cohort with other students. As far as like veterinary medicine goes, the vet college is strictly for grad students. So when you're in your pre-vet program, you can transfer credits in for sure from a community college. So that's a very good question. It really depends on the program. So if you're interested in a specific program and want to see if they want you to be taking that, I would just suggest either reaching out to your admissions representative or reaching out to the program directly and kind of talking through with them what your options are. Oh my goodness, visual or performing arts programs. So I'm not 100% sure on all of the different colleges available out there. I know K-State specifically, we have a ton of different programs within like getting your Bachelor of Arts, and then there's so many specializations you can get it in. And then I want to say the best theater program in Kansas. So if you're interested in theater, We have a school of dance, and music is really big on our campus, especially for students interested in marching band. So there's tons of different programs. That's really good that you're looking at a specific program already, so that you can type in like, where are the best visual and performing arts programs, and then it'll pop up with a list if you're interested in looking all across the country. There will be tons of information. All right, how do I get a campus visit set up? That's a really good question. I will say most colleges make it super easy for you to set up a campus visit. For K-State, you used to have to call into our office and then you would set it up. Now we have it all set up online, and I'm sure that you'll find that for most colleges, all you have to do is search, I want to visit this campus, and it will pop up with an exact link for you to go and click, and then you'll just register yourself for a campus visit. So it's really easy. Whatever college that you're interested in, more often than not, they'll have a visit button like right at the top of their screen. So yeah, for K-State right now, it's all online. Any other questions? These are all great, by the way. Okay, so first question's about pre-med at K-State. So pre-med's really cool because you don't have to be a specific major to be a pre-med student. But what's great about that is you get dual advising. So you get an advisor for whatever major program you decide to be in. A lot of students look at our like biology, biochem. We have biomedical engineering, which is really interesting. And you can really be anything and be pre-med. And then you'll also get a pre-med specific advisor who's going to help walk you through applying to med schools, what that all looks like, making sure you're taking the right classes in your undergraduate experience, and helping you get set up with medical programs to help get that experience hands-on before going into med school as well. As far as teaching goes, we have a number of different education programs. So if you're interested in anything from like elementary education all the way up to secondary education, we have a special education specialization that you can get and certificate. If you're interested in early childhood education, there are tons of programs. What's great is we have what we call EdCats, and basically it connects all of those educators in one big community. And it's not just current students, it's alumni as well. So my sister is actually in elementary education. She's a freshman in that program right now, and she's really enjoying it. So definitely a great program to look into. Yeah, so the special education is going to be a certificate that you can get on top of. So it's not a major program, but it's something that you can add to the program you're already in. Yes, I am available all day. Definitely send me an email. I put this phone number on. I'm not sure if it's up and working yet, so email would be the best way to contact me. And then if you wanted to, I could give you a call after that as well. That way we can talk through more about the programs. And I can also send you information for any of the specific programs that you want more information on. I can get you their contact information as well. As far as meteorology, I'm not 100% sure what that would look like at K-State. I know we don't have a major program, but there could be like a supplemental program that could be similar to that, but it's not going to be specific to meteorology, unfortunately. But yeah, if you do have more questions and you don't want to ask them in front of the whole group, that's totally okay. My email is up there. So if you want to send me an email, I'm more than happy to help you out, get you connected with the resources. Like I said, that's my entire job. So I'm more than happy to talk you through all of the different opportunities that are available to you. Because again, you have so many different options. And so I'm more than happy to walk you through that.
Well, we want to thank Devin very much for coming today and talking with us, virtually coming to us. We appreciate you taking your time out and spending the morning with us and giving us your contact information. I think you might be getting some emails coming at you, and that's wonderful. That's exactly what we want to be thinking about, is where our future is headed. So we appreciate you, Devin, and thank you so much. Also, I did want to say that, and Beth put it in the chat if you didn't see it, there are 4-H scholarships available. You can talk with your county extension agent to get more information on the specifics with that, but you can also check our website. We usually, I believe, post them in December or January, with the process running through the spring then for the next fall. So keep a lookout, and you can also reach out to your extension agent for guidance. Thank you all, and we hope to see you at your 9 o'clock sessions.